that's where we often get lost in here is too much of IT's budget is spent actually playing with the technology, keeping it going, doing things, exactly what you say, spending a lot of resource managing systems, which actually you want HP to be doing, providing a better way to do it. So, yeah, let me give it about 2 slides further on, I'll come back to that one. We often talk about an adaptive type infrastructure or flexible architecture, and what we typically did in the past is we had 3 different ways of approaching this. So we know IT demands vary over time. They go up and down based on peaks, troughs, hollows, time of day, events that happen. Some of them predictably, some of them unpredictably. So you know we can have a predictable event. We know the day after Thanksgiving is going to be a real big retail day, right? There's going to be a lot more transactions than normal. Trust me, if there's an earthquake in California, there's going to be a lot of unpredictable events because everybody's going to be contacting everybody, finding out what's going on. So we can predict some of them, we can't predict others. So we can be conservative. Conservative says, I put in enough IT resource to meet any eventuality. It's okay. In terms of the line of business, are they happy? In terms of, say, the IT department? Of course they are. We've always got enough resource, we've got a great big engine to play with. What's the CFO think of this?
It's waste of money.
He's not happy at all. It's like you've got a machine there that's 10% busy. You're telling me we spent all this money and we're only using 10% of it. What are you on about, guys? So the CFO gets in there and says, okay, we're going to be aggressive. This is what you need most of the time. So we're going to buy that size architecture, then we get this peak. Now who's happy? Well, the CFO's happy, but the business is saying, we couldn't take those orders. And in fact, I was here last year, and I remember, as I said, Black Friday is at the day after Thanksgiving, where a number of retailers in the environment fell over on the biggest shopping day in the year, and they went down. Would you like to be that CIO that went to your CEO on Monday and said, we screwed up? We couldn't take the orders you needed? The third way traditionally we've done it is we say purchase on demand. Hey, if we get this peak, we'll go and buy some new hardware and expand it, right? What's the problem with that one and who's happy here?
You already lost it.
You already missed the peak. How long does it take to actually do this? Traditionally.
By the time you get the next peak? By the time you get to the next peak, next cycle?
Right, so typically the time from the peak here to we actually have the problem resolved.
2 months.
2 months? I'd say that's fast, but often 3. Yeah, well, 3.
The problem is that generally when that happens, the 2 technology platforms are different. So the new line of the server is out, the new version of the OS is out. So now you have 2.
Hey, we're talking
You're
Super. That's not as hard in the SuperDome world.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, we have a little bit more competitive, but you're right. Nobody's happy. CFO, why is he not happy?
You're still
There's going to
spending
be
the
the same
money.
amount of money wasted now.
And it wasn't budgeted for anymore, right? So he's had to go and find the budget somewhere else. He said, now you put me back up here. Thank you very much, guys. You just conned me and put me into that environment. The business is saying, I had a problem 3 months ago. Come on, guys. So what we need is an infrastructure that is going to exceed these things by dynamically growing and shrinking with the business. So yes, we need our level, which we're going to cover the normal daily peaks, but hey, if I get this exceptionally peak, how can I do that? How can I grow for when I need it, and when I don't need it anymore, shrink it and keep everybody happy? So there in a nutshell is what we're sort of going to be talking about today, and I just put this slide in because whether we host it internally or externally, or whether we're cloud, we actually want to build this type of infrastructure because it goes right across both. Now, HP's approach, exactly what you were saying before. It's what we term integrated by design. So instead of having server X, server Y, different management tools for everything, we actually have developed one management tool, in this case System Insight Manager, that manages things like SuperDomes, integrity servers, blades. It actually came from the Proliant world. We do that investment. We develop the management tool. So one pane of glass manages a lot. What else do we do? Things like business continuity, kind of important. So if business continuity is important, I need the business continuity to work with, say, my virtualization schemes. I need that to work with my management schemes. I need to bring it all together so that my operations department can just use it instead of having system programmers actually developing all this stuff for me. So that's where, in fact, where are you taking these guys over here to the lab 44, I think, which is where they do a lot of this integration work and testing. That's their whole aim in life, is to actually take our products and make sure they work and work well together. Example here would be something like virtualization solutions. So we're going to be using vPower in the demonstration. vPower runs on our scalable systems. We need to make sure that that works with our things like service scale, the high availability business continuity solutions. It works with the management solutions. And we also make sure it works with some of our partner products, things like SAP and Oracle and tools like that. So that when we make changes, enhancements and things here, we integrate it all, we test it, and our customers just have to use it. So if you want to actually stand up a new server using, say, Service Guard, it's a configuration task. Yes, there is some scripting to be done that's minor because, hey, maybe you've got a, say, an Oracle database. Your Oracle database name is not going to be the same as everybody else's, so there's normally a fairly standard routine to say how I start the database up, how I shut it down. That's then integrated in the service. You don't develop Service Guard. You take Service Guard, you use it, you integrate it, and then as changes happen over time, if people like HP go and change, add new features, you can just continue to use that and gain the new features. You don't have to redevelop it yourself. Too often, your comment, a lot of our opposition actually will say, well, hey, we'll bring in an army of consultants, we'll develop this for you, and then when you've got your solution, we'll walk away, and now you're left maintaining this thing, so if something changes in the future, you're responsible for fixing it. And you need a team of sysprogs. Not kind of where you want to be today. What you want to do is have IT supporting the business, not just doing IT. So it's the business that's important. So this really is a key strategy of HP, is we integrate it. We put a lot of effort away. Our R&D goes into making sure that our products work together. I'll talk about another product later, which was actually developed for this environment, a thing called Capacity Planner, that we've now ported and is available over in the Proliant world as well. So we're actually bringing those tools together, so whether you're looking to stack a number of Proliants or whether you're looking to stack applications into a SuperDome, you've got the tools, all under the same management tool. Okay, another question. I'll take this Lego. Your question is, how many pieces? No guesses?
2.4 million.
No, way too high.
500,000.
Sorry?
500,000.
300,000, close. 300,000 pieces of Lego. Why have I got that in here? Well, we're talking about infrastructure. What's that got to do with Lego? Well, if you think about Lego, it's standardized. It's standardized building blocks. Each block is exactly the same, will actually interface with each other, and that's one of the things we're talking to our customers. Let's standardize the environment you work on. Let's make a block interchangeable so I can take it and move it and do things with it. So I can build a very complex environment. In this case, a 16-foot model. I should have told you it was 16 feet long. That would have given you a clue on the size of an aircraft carrier. But from the point of view of an adaptive environment, what's significant about this? When I finish